Building an audience of high ticket buyers, not just followers, is exactly the thing that allowed me to stop chasing people and wondering where the next client is going to come from. And no, what I'm going to share with you in this video is not telling you to create more value content and show up every single day. That's pretty shitty advice, in my opinion. Chasing people in the DMs who look qualified, adding them, getting them into your world. It's not doing more lead magnets to drive people to your newsletter and then sell them in your newsletter. It's not sharing parts of your life to get people to like, trust, and know you. And no, it's not selling a low ticket product on the front end and then ascending those people into higher ticket stuff. It's not of that. Now, just for some background and just for some proof, and this is exactly what saved me in my business. Now, I came from a poor middle class family and I wanted to build something for myself. I wanted to stop seeing my parents work so much and just bend over backwards to make money. So the fastest thing that I started was an agency, which everyone started back then. And I grew the agency to $2,000-3,000 a month, but I kept on sabotaging it because I kept on following the advice of create value, chase people in DMs, send cold emails, create lead magnets. And then in 2020, I co-founded a business, a performance coaching business, and we sold this performance coaching business for multiple six figures. Actually, we didn't sell it, I exited, and my partner is still in it for multiple six figures from zero, literally from zero to 223K in 7 months. And we didn't do all of that. We didn't do all of this, I don't know what you want to call it, all of that, DMing, showing up every single day, speaking with people, doing all of that. We didn't do all of that. And then what happened is that I forgot about those foundational principles and I went back and I jumped back into the strategies, which is the mistake that a lot of people do. They follow strategies, not foundations. And I struggled within my own coaching business. So here I was showing up every single day, posting value content, showing up to the world, doing what I had to do, connecting with people, chasing with people, getting on podcasts to get coaching clients. And I did it. I did it. I got a couple of coaching clients, made two, three, four, $5,000 per month. But again, where was I at the end of the month? Stuck, needing more clients. And what solved that and what really made things tick is that I was speaking in the wrong language to the wrong people. And all that I needed to do was to build an audience of high ticket buyers, not just followers. And the results of that is that now I have 4.3K on my Facebook, very small audience. But this small audience has made me over $40,000, not over 39.296 thousand, so approximately $40,000 per quarter. It brings me people who pay me $3,000 to work with me. And it brings me people who pay me up to $9,900. And actually, I have two people who are still paying me till this day, and their total investment within me is now approximately $17,200 to work with me, all through building an audience of high ticket buyers, not just simply followers and chasing random people. Now, the three principles that we'll cover within this video are foundational principles. Who is the audience that buys the easiest and the fastest, and how to find them? The psychology of content that converts and doesn't just get likes and comments. It's not value. Where all success starts, and what 96% of coaches fail to nail. How do I know that? Because the last part, so the third part, because I consult coaches and 90% of our work is literally on nailing the point number 3, because once we nail point number 3, everything flows from there. So who is the easy to sell audience? Who is the audience that is easiest to sell? Now, within my coaching, I like to really focus on the fundamentals, because reality is, I'm going to be very transparent here and I might be shooting myself in the foot. The fundamentals will take you to 20, 30, 40K per month. And everyone that's selling you a strategy or a system that is new or different, in reality is just a small tweak on the foundational principles. And if you find yourself someone who teaches you the foundational principles really well, stick to them. stick to them, because there are so many strategies, there are so many masters at strategies and systems, but there are very few masters at foundations. So let's talk about the easy to sell audience. Now, when it comes to the easy to sell audience, this is one of the biggest leverage points that you can do within your business that so many people miss, which is speaking to the right type of people. So, who is this type of people? Number one, they are aware of the problem. So yesterday, a client messaged me on Slack, which is our private channel where we speak together, and he was like, "Arnold, I want to run a offer campaign, a client whispering offer campaign, which is something that we teach our clients at the end of the week. And who do I speak to specifically within my target audience?" I told them, and I asked him like, "Who are your people? What problems are they already aware of?" And he was like, "Done." This is exactly his reply. He was like, "Done. I already know that." Done. So when the audience is already aware of the problem that you're trying to solve to them, you don't have to convince them that they are dealing with the things that they need to pay you, they need to get this thing solved, they need to come into your world. You don't need to convince them of all of that, pretty much, because they are already aware of it. Like, if someone has a problem with procrastination and he knows that procrastination is fucking up his life, okay, it's much easier than you going out there and talking to someone who, yeah, it's not such a big deal. I wake up a little bit early, I don't get my things done, but it's not such a big deal. It's very easy to talk to this person who feels like, oh, this is really messing up my life, versus the person who it's not such a big deal. So you want someone who's already aware of the problem that you're trying to solve. Now, if you are not clear on what the problem that you are trying to solve is, this is another problem and another conversation for another time, pretty much. Which is why a lot of people don't talk about the foundations, because if you are not clear, then that means you don't have strong foundations. If you don't have strong foundations, this is where you need to start to build your business up. The second thing that makes an audience that is easy to sell to, they are actively seeking solutions to this problem. So they're not just aware. So, okay, I have a, let's say I have a procrastination problem. We're going to take the example of procrastination. So this person is aware that they have a procrastination problem. Cool. It can be messing up his life, but he's not doing anything about it. Or it can be messing up his life, but he's actually searching for solutions. He's actually searching for books. Maybe he's reading Tony Robbins. Maybe he's doing something like that. Maybe he's moving forward. Why do we want that? Because a person in motion stays in motion. A buyer in motion stays in motion. Someone who's actively looking for a solution is much easier than someone that you need to come up to and you need to shove the solution down his mouth and show him how much value there is to it and show him that he needs it. And we go back to the same rat race where I'm trying to prove a point to someone, and it's very hard to prove points to people, pretty much. So find people who already are convinced with that point and get them to your world. And number three, which is the thing that most of us miss, is actively investing in this problem. So actively investing to solve this problem. Maybe they have bought another program. Maybe they have bought another solution. Maybe they have bought a software. Maybe they have invested in a productivity. Whatever it is, they have invested. The higher amount of money that they have invested, the more qualified they would be to work with you. Why is that? A buyer in motion stays in motion. By the way, this is like laws of physics. So an object in motion stays in motion, pretty much. I'm not a physics professor, by the way. I'm very bad at physics, but I know that for a fact. So if someone in motion stays in motion, if someone is already spending money, you don't need to go to their world and like push them or convince them or show them that they need to spend more money. They already know that they need to spend more money. They already know that spending money to solve this problem is the way to solve this problem. They have already spent money. They have already invested money. So you don't need to, like here on the first part, you don't need to convince this person that this problem needs to be solved. They already convinced. That's one. Check. So let's check it together actually. Let me choose the green. So this is the green. 1 second, I'm gonna draw on my iPad. So check. They are already aware of the problem. They want to solve it. Great, congratulations. What is the second thing? The second thing is they are actively seeking for a solution. So you don't have to convince them that, hey, there's a solution out there and you can solve this problem. No, they know that they have the problem. They are actively looking to solve this problem. And not just that, they are actively looking to solve this problem, and they have invested to solve this problem. So you have the highest level of commitment with people. You have the highest level of commitment with people. This is why so many coaches fail, because so many coaches content and so many consultants content is trying to persuade people rather than speak to people who are already persuaded, who are already convinced. Hopefully that makes sense, right? Hopefully that just made you think like, shit. Anyway, we move on to the second point. So now that you understand who is the audience that is easiest and the fastest to sell, and how to find, by the way, this is like how to do that, it's another beast for another time, another video. Or you could just come into my program and we could cover it in literally 1 week with AI tools that we've developed. Shameless plug. But so anyway, the psychology of converting content that doesn't just like it gets likes and comments and it's not value. So what is the psychology? See, this is my biggest, like, this was my own kryptonite. I'm going to be very transparent and honest with you about that. This was my own kryptonite, which is I am a very disciplined man. I am someone who has a very strong routine within his life. Work out certain time, eat certain time, show up to work at a certain time. And with this discipline comes a curse. It's like very powerful, but it comes a curse where sometimes you get so stuck on creating and creating and recreating and keep on showing up that you get stuck in a loop and in a rat race pretty much. And this is what happened with me in content. So I learned that I need to put value content. So every fucking day I sat down in front of the computer. Let's write content. Let's put out value content for years, for not weeks, for years, because I was like indoctrinated and nurtured in this philosophy that you need to write value content to get more clients. I showed up every single day and I created pain-based content every single day. And this was the old way. This was the way that, actually, sadly, this is also still the way that a lot of people teach content nowadays, which is post value content. Show up every single day, create pain-based content, make them feel their pain. And where did that leave me? This left me pretty much nowhere. Why? Because value content isn't what gets clients. I didn't understand the psychology behind content that gets clients. What is the psychology behind content that gets clients? You have to lead with mechanisms. Why? This person over here who already invested in the problem, who knows that he has the problem, who's seeking the solution, he's already paying money. This person doesn't need more value. This person doesn't need 3 tips to lose weight, 3 tips to become more productive. This person doesn't 3 tips to make 10K per month. This person doesn't need that. This person is advanced. So imagine you're speaking to a master's degree student versus someone who just joined high school, pretty much. You're now speaking to a master's degree. When you speak to people with higher fluency and higher awareness in the market, you cannot give them even more value because they are showered with value every single day. You need to lead with mechanisms. You need to show them how your thing that you are presenting is different from everything else that they have tried in the past, and why everything that they have tried hasn't really worked like they wanted to work, and how your thing will work. This is the majority of your content, pretty much. Which leads us to the second point. Show up every day. No, create sales assets. 1 to 2 sales assets per week is exactly what you need for this audience to read it, to watch it, to consume it, and to be like, this makes sense. This guy makes sense. This mechanism, this process that he's following makes sense. I like what he's talking about over here. And rather than creating pain-based content, you create realizations and aha moments. So this person, imagine you're speaking to a master's degree again, and he understands everything, and he knows everything, and he has been through school, high school, he has been through the textbooks, and you go out and you tell him some basic stuff. It's not going to make him feel driven from the inside. But if you give him insights and realizations, things that he has never even seen before, he's going to be like, oh, no. Tony is the real deal. Arnold is the real deal. Jack is the real deal. I don't know what's your name, but you're the real deal. Why? Because you were able to show him a gap that he wasn't aware of. This is where the majority amount of money is made. Literally, this is where a lot of people make a lot of money. You were able to give him an insight, to show him a gap that he was not aware of. Cool. So now, in this situation, you come in and you create 1 to 2 pieces of content per week, okay, that are sales assets. You lead with your mechanisms, so with your processes, and you create realizations and aha moments for this person. And now you don't have to show up every day, create pain-based content, chase people and whatever it is, because like this sells for you. This sells your process for you. Now when people get on a call with you, they're not going to sit down and they're going to ask you, oh, what is it that you do? How can you help me? I need to think about it. They already know. It's very clear. What is it that you do? How can you help them? How can you do it for them? From your content. See how speaking to this level of people and mixing it up with this type of content creates such a powerhouse. Now, I have like a quick thing that I added here, which is this is like the summary of this idea. Introducing a new and different way for the market to experience the outcome they want. Differentiation in marketing is crucial and critical as it makes selling natural and simple. This is what I told you about leading with mechanisms, pretty much. Differentiation is crucial and critical, sorry. So you lead with a mechanism that is different, that is new, okay? How to develop, again, another beast for another time. This is also what makes your content marketing a piece of cake. As now, when you present a new solution, the majority of your content game will be providing your thesis through the case study content. Now, this is a bit advanced, so I was really hesitant to put it, but I'm gonna put it and I'm gonna explain it. So basically, the majority of your content will be you proving the point of this mechanism. That's pretty much all of your content. That's pretty much all of your videos. That's pretty much all that you put out there. It's like me proving that this is the mechanism, this is the thing that will get you where you want to go, and why other things didn't get you where you want to go. That's pretty much your content from now on. So you, rather than being on this flywheel of creator or doing whatever it is, no, 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 no. No need for all of that, pretty much. Now, you lead with mechanisms, you create sales assets, and you create realizations and aha moments. So here's an example. Those are multiple methods: the whiteboard method, the one simple flywheel, the modern maker model, the E5 model, the predictable client ecosystem, which is my company. All of these promise the same thing: 10 to 20K per month and new clients. But each one has different strength, and each one is new. And each one of us, each one of the owners of those methods, markets his method and his process from his to show people how this method works for people the best, pretty much. So see how you need to position yourself in the market, and I know for a fact that each one of those methods is making a ton of money, pretty much. So psychology of content, to summarize it quickly, because we have just one point where all success starts and where 96% of coaches fail to fail to nail, pretty much. Converting content, the psychology of it is that you are already speaking with an audience that understands the problem, that is seeking a solution, and that is investing in a solution. So your content should follow up on that. Your content should not be trying to prove a point or trying to give them even more value. Your content should be, hey, you're trying this solution. My solution works better. Here's proof. Here's why. Here are case studies. Here's how my solution works. Here's how my mechanism works. This is what you should be doing, not the other way around. You shouldn't be shoving your value down people's throat. Actually, you should just show them how your mechanism works. So for example, I'm showing you right now how part of my mechanism works. A small part, a very small part of the mechanism. Which leads us to point number 3, where all success starts and what 96% of online coaches fail to nail. And this is what's going to actually make sense of how to build an audience of high ticket buyers. Success starts over here. When you nail the fundamentals of your business, when you nail a good offer, good content, and good lead mechanism. Why? If you have a good offer that shows people that there's a new path, a different path, a faster path to solve the problem that they have already been investing and trying to solve in for years. So if you build your offer on top of that, cool. Now you have a very good, strong offer, right? Most of your marketing now becomes an expression of this offer. You going out to the world and showing people how this offer is different, how this offer is better. What most people do and what most coaches fall into is that they fall into the trap, and why they fail generally is that they fall into the trap of value content, irresistible offers. You don't need irresistible offers, you don't need value content. You need an offer that makes sense, that presents a new path for someone to achieve what they want to achieve. For example, in PCL, when people get to work with me, actually click the link down below, you'll see exactly my offer. I don't sell mechanisms, I don't sell systems and processes. I sell foundations, and every single customized tool that I've built, whether using AI, whether manually, whether my mentorship, whether everything, is to solidify the foundations, is to solidify the skills. Because most people teach systems, but they don't teach what? Foundations and skills. And this is why a lot of people fail, while very few select people who get the skills right, they win. Okay? So this is why my front end offer is predictable client ecosystem, where I teach foundations and skill, and I give people skills back. I give control, I give them power. And majority of my content, just like this one, is to show you how the foundations affect everything else that you do within the business. Because if you don't have the foundation of this audience, you couldn't create marketing. And no matter how good your system is or your DMing script is, you couldn't do anything about it. Same thing, if you don't have the strong foundation, you can't create a lead mechanism, a piece of content, and a sales asset. You can't do that. So this is why strong foundations are essential. And this is why a lot of coaches fail, because they follow the strategy and not the foundation. Now, what will happen when you follow the foundation? When you build good content that is driven around sales assets, not always giving value to people, empowering people, making them feel good. No. What will happen is that people who are searching for those things will find you. Aware prospects, knowledgeable prospects will find you, and they will follow you. And those types of prospects, when they find you and they follow you, they are not following you because of the hype, because of the coolness, because of how sexy he looks on camera, because of some crazy idea, or because of the picture of your dog. Those people are following you because you said something in your piece of content that makes them think, that made them realize that you know more than others. You know something different than others. So they follow you, and they keep an eye out, and they keep an eye out, and they don't engage those people. I have a client who kept following me for 6 months, keeping an eye out for everything, didn't engage on anything. And then he came in and he was like, "Ronald, I want to work with you. Khalas, let's get started." For 6 months. Silent followers, I call those people. And yet those people are the people who pay the most amount of money. Why? Because those people are not into for the hype. Those people are not in for the sexy promises, or crazy offers. Those people are not in for the quick hit wonders. Those people are in for real, powerful, effective, and deep solutions. So when you start to show that within your content, when you start to create that within your content, when you start to give them the depth of solutions within your content, this is where you'll win. But not just that. This is where you will be happier as a creator and as a coach yourself, because you are going deep into the thing that you love the most. So rather than spending 90% of your time chasing people and doing business tasks, you're spending 90% of your time researching solutions, building solutions, developing frameworks, developing mechanisms, making your solution one of the best in the world, which is, in my opinion, a win-win in every way, shape, or form. So your solution gets better on one hand, your solution actually becomes one of the best on one hand, and on the other hand, your content gets more people into your solution. So win-win. Literally, you do one thing, which is going deep into your shit, and it attracts more people to you, and it serves your clients at the same time. So hopefully that makes sense, and hopefully this gives you the point to stop just following strategies. Stop really thinking about like this DMing strategy, this DMing process, this whatever it is, and start focusing on the foundations of your business. Please. Cool. If you like that, please let me know by liking, commenting, and subscribe on the video, and subscribe on the channel on the video. And I'll see you in another one.